September salaries for ANC staffers will be delayed. This is the third month in a row that the party has been unable to pay wages. Staff members are still waiting for their July and August salaries. A statement released by the ANC General Manager, Febe Potgieter, described the situation as deeply regrettable and apologized for the hardship and uncertainty caused. For more on this, I'm joined by ANC Staff Representative Committee Member Mandla Qwane. Many thanks for your time this evening, Mandla. I mean, what is the reason, the latest that has been communicated to the staffers about why the ANC has not been able to get itself right and start to compensate its workers?
Good evening, Rafiwa and the viewers. Perhaps let's start by thanking this opportunity that you are giving us to share our story with yourselves and the people of South Africa, which is a sad story. Unfortunately for us, it has been coming for over 3 months now, and it seems to be continuing. But coming to your question is that the employer, in this case, the ANC, consistently since we started our engagements early in the year, as far as June, has been communicating with us that there are financial challenges that the organization is faced with, and as a result, it is unable to keep with its obligation of paying salaries. But there has been a number of promises, and those promises attached to them would be timelines and cut-off dates to say at least by this time you will be able to receive your salaries. But unfortunately and sadly, that has not been happening until this very moment.
I mean, in those engagements that you are having with management, how do they account for the fact that millions are being spent on campaigning? There was talk of around 50 million that will be sent through to the Treasury General to be approved so that the campaigning ahead of the elections can go ahead. The number obviously was said that it's not exactly 50 million, but it's quite a number.
Look, it's very disappointing to us as members of staff that the leadership seemingly is only focusing on the elections work, and the money, whichever money that gets fundraised, will be taken to the elections work, and not considering the fact that the very same staff members who must be working the elections work, who must provide support to the very leadership of the ANC, has been sitting without salaries, and they've not been able to even contribute in the elections work because they do not have means to play part or to make sure that they contribute in the elections work. And I must say that it really hurts us. It hurts us that it means some of our leaders are sitting there planning on getting funds, and only those funds would be then delivered or directed to the elections, and not considering the fact that we have been sitting without our salaries for over a period of 3 months, despite the fact that we took a decision ourselves as members of staff that we are going to down tools and we are going to make sure that we go back to work and we'll work for our organization and make sure that we get a decisive victory. This was a decision taken by members of staff, and we were of the view that the leadership would really understand our plight, will also from their side make sure that they try and meet us halfway, and they try and resolve these challenges, particularly the area of salaries. Remember, salaries are not the only issues that we have tabled to the leadership. There are a number of issues that we have accepted that they may not be resolved in a short space of time, and we're welcoming the fact that the leadership may be putting some effort to resolve those issues, but they may only be resolved on a long-term basis. But we're saying the urgent matter that sits in front of us is the issue of salaries, because it has to do with the livelihood of our members of staff. Our members of staff are losing their houses. It's been 3 months now without paying their houses. Our members of staff are losing their cars. Their children have not been going to school for the past 2 months. And if this continues as it is, that there is no hope that our salaries will be paid, it means we are going to have a number of staffers of the ANC that are going to be sleeping under the bridges, who are going to be homeless.
And on that point, the struggles that the members or the staffers are going through, you did commit with the party that you would down tools and work together to find a solution. Now that you've received this latest communication that you will not be getting your salaries, is there a potential that you may strike once again as the staff body of the ANC, just to make your voices heard?
Look, we met earlier today with the general manager, and the meeting came as a result of ourselves wanting to understand where things are, because there's been a silence. There's been silence since our last meeting with the officials on the 7th of September, which was then postponed to the 9th, and that meeting did not materialize because some of the officials of the ANC had other government commitments that they had to attend to. And unfortunately, since that meeting, we have not met, meaning we have not been getting official updates or official indication to say how these matters are being addressed and how urgently they are going to be resolved. And we had to arrive at the point where we had to request the GM that, look, Comrade Phoebe, we need to sit and engage with the entire complement of staffers to make sure that at an equal level we are able to get equal information, we keep each other updated, and we know what is happening and what is not happening. Now, the meeting of today received a report which was the same report we've been getting to say, look, we're working on these issues. We are looking at a possibility of getting some money by the end of the month, and if it does happen, we'll be able to pay you salaries for the month of July, and maybe we may also pay you the salaries of the month of August, but clearly indicating that for the month of September, we really can't make a commitment because it's going to be a struggle to get 3 salaries at the same time. This we took and we understood as staffers that this is an election season. Money must go to other activities of the ANC while also taking care of the salaries of staff.
But I must just push you on this one. I just want to just a direct answer. Is there a possibility that you will embark on strike action should the situation not be resolved? You've indicated that they've been quiet. They have not communicated with you since the last time. Obviously, people are under a lot of financial strain and they need clarity. We need to just understand the point of action that you'll be taking as a staff body.
Look, anything is possible, and including the strike. If we decide that by the end of the month, still we're not receiving our salaries as promised, we'll be left with no choice to take a much more radical step to say what needs to be done to put pressure and what needs to be done to really voice out our dissatisfaction. I mean, we have had so many discussions and so many promises have been made, but nothing seems to be coming forward. If we decide as members of staff that strike is a solution, we will go for strike. If it means we must down tools, we will go to downing tools. Whatever means that we may deem fit as members of staff, we will definitely employ so that we are able to voice our dissatisfaction and disappointment at the fact that it has been so long since we received our salaries.